If you're a music creator and love George Ezra, this video is for you. George Ezra is one of the biggest music artists in the world. He has cracked the game. One of the best ways to improve your music is to study people that are crushing it. But here's the thing, it isn't his record label or his money that's got him to where he is. He started out just like you. If you get good at learning from the masters, you win. So here are the 5 reasons why George Ezra is one of the best artists out there right now. 1, his unique voice. George Ezra's voice stands out. It's technically called a baritone, which is a deeper male voice, compared to a tenor, which is a higher male voice. And tenor voices, higher male voices, are the ones you hear much more in pop music. The learn from this for you is that your uniqueness is your superpower. So the actionable tip for you is to get a bit of paper and write down between 5 and 10 things about you which make you unique. Do any of them stand out? Some of those things that make you unique will make you stand out from the crowd and will be things that you can lean into in the same way that George Ezra has lent into his wonderful deep voice. There is a challenge with this. In this industry, lots of people are insecure. And what insecure people like to do is to like to make themselves feel better by talking down other people. And one of the ways they can do that is to find the unique things about you and make fun of them. But that is the challenge. If you want to be unique, like Prince or David Bowie, Lady Gaga, there are some absolutely amazing artists through the decades who have used their unique voice, their unique talent, and have really made it. So lean into your uniqueness. Number 2, storytelling. George Ezra is an exceptional storyteller. When you listen to his songs, if you're anything like me, you feel like you've experienced the things he's talking about. This makes his music seem real and seem accessible to everyone, and that is why he is so successful around the world. So the lesson from this is to lean into your life experiences. What can you write songs about that you have experienced? So actionable tip, write down all of the memorable things that you've experienced, maybe in the last year, but go back further if you can. How did they make you feel? What did they make you do? Try and write songs around these experiences, and you'll find that they actually put other parts of your life start flowing through into those songs as well, and it will make your songs much more accessible to a wider audience. There is a challenge with this. It can make for slightly boring lyrics if it's just about things that you've done. So tip number 3 is going to help you with that. Did you know that George's first album was inspired by a trip around Europe? What's your version of that? 3, start strong and stand out. To avoid his real life stories being a bit boring, George often has really memorable opening lines. The best example I can think of from George is Homegrown Alligator from his song Shotgun. What the hell does that mean? It immediately creates curiosity. So here's your actionable tip. Take a song that you've just finished the lyrics of. Read the first line. Does it stand out? Does it start strong? If the answer to those questions is no, what can you do with that first line to really throw something in that creates curiosity? Spend a bit of time on that first line. It's a bit like advice I give to YouTubers. The first 5 seconds of your video is the most important, and it hooks people in. It's the same with a song. Your first 5 seconds of lyrics are absolutely crucial, so you should really think about ways of starting strong and standing out. The challenge with this tip is that if you go too far, your song might start with some weird lyrics that kind of don't fit with the rest of the song. However, I would say slightly weird lyrics that stand out are better than bland and boring lyrics that turn people off. A great example of another artist who does this exceptionally well is the Beatles. If you look at almost any of their songs, Jojo was a man who thought he was a loner is the start of one of their songs. Crazy. Bob Dylan does this too as well, and Billie Eilish. So look at your favorite artists and look at their first line of their lyrics, and you'll often find that they stand out and they start strong. So starting songs strong is important. To make your songs stand out even more, I would recommend that you look into LANDR Studio. It's an all-in-one platform that makes releasing music effortless. You get unlimited releases per year, so I can get as many songs as I want out without worrying about any extra fees. Plus, if I want to release a cover song, there's a really easy process where you pay a little bit extra and you can get your cover song out there and they sort everything out for you. Their AI mastering gives your tracks a really polished feel. I've been using it for the last 3 or 4 of my tracks and it really is awesome. And when I want to add something special, I dive into Chromatic, which is one of their plugins, and it can allow you to add pro sounds into your songs instantly. If you're serious about making music, check out LANDR Studio. It's what I use to make my songs sound their best. So you can click the link in the description to find out a bit more. Number 4, George started early. George put his early work onto YouTube as soon as he had material to work with. This tip is powerful. Don't wait for perfection. Start getting stuff out there. Warning, you need to be open to feedback. This tip only works if you are open to feedback and you listen to things that people tell you. If you accept that your material isn't perfect and are always actively looking at ways to improve it, this tip works really well. You will actively seek to improve and your songs will get better. Your following will grow. Other artists who've done this are Lorde, Justin Bieber, great examples of just getting your music out there, listening to what people say, proving it, and getting better. 5. He seems like a guy you could hang out with. George seems like really down to earth and really normal. If you go and check him out on his social media pages, he seems like a guy that probably went to school with, and he shows you quite a lot of his life. I think the thing here is that authenticity resonates. People are really good these days at sniffing out fakeness. So the challenge with this is that there are haters out there. There are people out there who will make fun of you, and that can be really difficult if you feel like you're being yourself and people are making fun of that. So if you're not comfortable with who you are, this could hurt. So work out who you are, work out what your values are, post in line with those, and try and ignore the hate. As a quick sidebar, when George was about 12, I joined the school he was at as a music teacher. I'm a drummer and a guitarist, but somehow ended up teaching him the bass. If George's parents are watching, I probably owe you your tuition fees back. I taught him for about 2 years, forgot all about him, gave up on music and became an accountant. And then one day I'm watching Strictly Come Dancing, and there he is, playing his guitar and singing his songs. I was blown away. I was even more blown away when I was listening to an interview with him on BBC and he actually mentioned me by name. Check it out.
And I remember having this light bulb moment. I had a teacher at school who was my bass teacher. His name was Ollie Gearing, and he was also a songwriter. And I remember quietly saying to him, like, dude, I want to write songs. But I thought it was like a members club. You know, I thought that someone had to... And he was so inspiring and just like, dude, go and do it. He was like full of this energy, go and do it. And I did.
So my final tip, in life, you never know where people you meet today are going to end up. Put everything you can into your relationships, and one day you might have a multi-million-dollar mainstream artist name dropping you on the BBC. Thank you, George, for your amazing music and being such an inspiration to me and millions of people around the globe. And if you want to know why Ed Sheeran is so good, check out this video here.